Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here. Slightly frazzled this morning. I was all set to go live right on time, and the contractor. We're having some work done on our house, and the contractor was there all of a sudden, and had to talk to him. So I'm going live now, and happy Tuesday to all of you. And today is Casing Tuesday, the day that we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. And I love today's layout because I love things when they're just a little teeny tiny different. And so let's take a look at what our card is today. Okay. Oh, and I've got sunshine coming in. I'm also getting blinds installed in this room probably in about a week. So I'll be able to better deal with the sunshine that wants to come down on my desk when I go live in the morning. All right, so have a look at this layout. You see that designer series paper is going across on an angle from a left to right. And there is a way that I have figured out how to do this. There's probably a bunch of different ways, but I found a way that I think uses up the least amount of designer series paper. So I'm going to show you how to do that. But I love that kind of angled look. That really makes me happy. So here is the layout. Yolanda, who does the sketches for us, has given us some hints as to how to create this strip in the center. So this designer series paper. So you can use that as your guide. And our Facebook group will be the place that you can go to if you want to see those sketches again. I also have them on my blog post. Good morning, Ellie. From coastal Connecticut. Oh, I hope you're having a good time. You must be on vacation. All right. So if you're just joining me now and you didn't catch me right at the beginning, there might be some noise in the background. We are having some work done on our house this morning. It's happening all this week. So I hope my microphone doesn't pick it up. But we'll try and make it work. So I'm going to show you my card and we'll get started on this card today. One of the things I love about this Casing Tuesday challenge is it is good for all levels. It's good for me because I don't pick all the cards that we do. We have a group of us that blogs with us each week, and everyone gets a chance to pick a card. So often it's a card that I would not have picked, and that helps me get out of my comfort zone. And for beginners, it's a great starting point. So let me switch over to my other camera. Look at this so cute card. I love this. Okay, this is from the Bird's Eye View stamp set, the birds and the books. And then I also used the Phrases for All stamp set. These stamp sets they arrived yesterday. I actually bought them. We had a one-day sale last week, and I bought them on the one-day sale, and I expedited them here because I needed some new things because I hadn't purchased a lot in the last 2 months because we were right in the middle of the move, and the last thing I needed was more things to pack. So I tried to work with what I had for a couple months. Of course, a few things came in on different orders, but mainly I stuck with stuff that I had. So it's nice to have something new in the house to play with, and I love the Bird's Eye stamps. It's so cute. It's got little eyeglasses. It's got like a little, I guess, I don't know if you call that a monocle, like a one eye thing. And then it's got two different eyeglasses. You can build a branch. The books are really cute. I think that's perfect for congrats because, smart people, congratulations, kind of cool. And I think it pairs really nicely with the Phrases for All because, as you notice, the Bird's Eye View stamp set doesn't have any greetings to go with it. So if you want to have a greeting on it, you're going to have to use a greeting stamp set or a greeting from another stamp set. So these are the two stamp sets I used today. And we are going to go ahead and make the card. So let's start off. We always start off with a card base, don't we? So the card base is 11 by 4 1/4, and we score it in half at the 5.5 inch mark. Fold in half along the score line, and then crease along the fold like that. And so that is our card base. I often like to do the fold up at the top of the card. I don't know, I like the way it sits on a shelf or whatever. So then we're going to use some of this glorious gingham paper. And I noticed that I hadn't used any of the pecan pie paper yet. So I thought, okay, it's time to use some pecan pie paper. And this one you might want to use more in fall, but I think it looks really good with this bird because you can pop some color in there with the books, and then that takes care of, you know, having a little bit more of a pop of color. So we're using this kind of neutral paper, pecan pie, and let me run across the room because I forgot my trimmer. I wanted to show you how I would trim down this piece to create this piece that goes across. So this starts off as 6 by 6. So we're going to take this piece and cut it to the card front size, which is 4 1/4. Let me save this piece for another card, by 5.5. Okay, so originally I was going to use a different paper. Actually, I was going to use this paper when I realized that this one had a lot of white in it. This has white in it too, but somehow this one worked better with my card. So I was going to use this paper. So I kind of created this as a guide for how much to cut off. So basically, this was a square that was 1.5 inches by 2 inches. So you can do that for yourself. Cut a rectangle, 1.5 by 2, and then cut it in half on the diagonal. And what you can do then, for a piece of paper that doesn't have lines on it, you can use it as a template, as a blueprint to cut the corners off. And if that's not enough to cut off, like if you want it to be a little bit further in, then just, you know, go incrementally and just kind of lay it out. Like if that's not quite how you want it, like this is how it would look, you know, it would be a different color underneath. But if that's not quite enough to cut off, then just, you know, go by 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch bigger. So instead of 1.5, you would do like 1 3/4 by 2 1/4, and then cut your rectangle in half. And then you just draw a pencil line, and that's what you're going to use to cut along so that you can cut your corners off like on here. But for this one, when I did that, when I laid this out, you can see right here, it didn't follow along the lines that were already there. And I thought that's not going to look good. So I decided to cut along the line. So I'm just kind of used about the same size as this one, but I just went over to the line and just line that up, and now I'm going to cut it off. All right, now that I've got this piece, I'm just going to flip it over to the other side and kind of have a look. Okay, so I'm going to cut right along that line there. And that will give me approximately the evenness. I know I'm a little bit off camera. Okay. So there we go. We've got our piece ready for our card front. And you know, you could use these, you could kind of do a reverse technique. You could do, oh, see, I'll show you what the reverse technique would look like. You could take these pieces now, like this, and that would be a different look of a card, and that way you could use up all of your scraps, right? So that would be like an alternate to the card instead of using this one. I'm tempted to like make the alternate card just so we could see what it would look like. Shall I do that? So we can see what the different cards would look like, and I can make still yet another card with the other pieces. Okay, let's do that. Just so if you were going to make this card as I originally made it, this would be the piece that you would glue on the card front. But we're going to make the opposite of the card. So let's go ahead and just glue these triangles onto the corners. I'm making it up as I go along, right? It's nice when you can use things up, right? So we'll see how that looks in the end. I might need to move my bow up at the top. We'll see. We'll see. Everything can be moved. Okay, so my card base for now is ready. Well, let's focus on this big basic white layer. That is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. We'll take our Memento ink and we'll start off with the books. So I want to stamp the books so they're just a little bit up so we have room for that congrats. So probably about an inch, inch and a quarter. I think I stamped this one maybe a tiny bit higher than my last one, but that's okay. There's a lot of headroom there. Then we'll take the bird. Notice how I'm inking this one a different way. It's a slightly bigger stamp, so I'm going to ink it when it's upside down. So just pop the bird. You just need to kind of make sure the feet hit on the top of that book. And then you can take the glasses, or you don't have to. I do wear glasses though, so that's kind of fun. Put the bird with glasses. So, okay, so that is all stamped. Before we put our ink pad away, let's take this little piece. This piece is 2 3/4 by 1/2 inch. And we're going to take the congrats stamp. That's from Phrases for All. Just ink it up. And we'll just kind of eyeball it and see if we can get it on there straight. Pretty good. All right, now we can put the ink pad away. I'm always worried that I'm going to stick my fingers in that somehow. Okay, so let's give this a little color. And for that, we're going to use Stampin' Blends. I've got a bunch of them here. We'll start off by coloring the books. I find it easier to work like this. We're going to use Blueberry Bushel Light. If you want these labels for your Stampin' Blends, look on my blog. Click over to my blog. And in the resources section, I have these labels, and I also have this chart that you can print out and fill in so that you have all of you can fill in all the colors that you have, both the light and the dark. This is all our current color selection right there. So we're going to start off with Blueberry Bushel Light, and I'm going to leave, there's a couple of bands that are smaller. I'm going to leave those and come back and do them with the dark. So I'm doing light. Then I'm going to take Daffodil Delight Light. I'm going to do this section here. The nice thing about blends is they smooth out the color. You won't have those little dots that you do when you use regular markers. It's one of the reasons I love them so much. They're very forgiving. And I know I probably have bad technique for alcohol markers, but I'm just scribbling in, and we'll have to do the top of the book in the same color. I don't know if you can hear that. They're taking down a wall. It's loud for me. I'm sorry if you can hear it. I'm going to switch to the dark, so the same color, Dark Berry Burst. You probably won't be able to tell on camera, but it is darker in person. I'm going to use the Bullet Daffodil Delight Dark. And you know, I could have switched the colors to make different colors on each book, but I opted to kind of just go tone on tone. I didn't want to take too much of the focal point away from the bird. The ends of the books I'm going to leave white, just like pages. Then we'll come in with our Pecan Pie Light. And I'm going to just start adding color on everywhere where there's like speckles for the bird. This is a bigger thing to color, so I'm going to add some shading on this one. Okay, so you can see I just added, that looks really bad right now, but I'm going to come in and blend with, this is the medium light collection, and if you look on the side of your blends, you'll get two in the medium light collection, and you'll look for the one that says 800 on the side, and I have medium light and it says 800, so you'll know exactly what to do. So we'll just kind of come in and start coloring the bird. Remember not to color all the way to outside of the eyeglasses because they're kind of peeking beyond the head. We're coming down and we're going to blend out this line a bit. It's going to take a moment to kind of reactivate, and we'll blend it out so you don't really see the harsh line. Sorry, you probably can hear that. It's gonna be a crazy day here. But, you know, I'm happy that we're able to do this right now. It was very hard to find a contractor on such short notice because in Massachusetts there's such a shortage of good workers, so I am very happy we found someone, and it's so awesome to come by this morning and check in on the progress of we have two companies working. One is doing a takedown and the other is going to do the repair. So we're just kind of getting everyone to work together. I've left a bit of a light space at the top of the wing here. I don't always color everything in. And also I've left a little bit of a light space, you know, above this coloring here. And I think I've got it pretty blended. Come back, blend a bit more. There we go. So cute. You know, I didn't do this on this one, but I think I'm going to come in and just hit the beak with a little yellow, dark yellow. There we go. So, so cute. Okay, let's get this card assembled. We're going to add this onto here. The blends, of course, they bleed through to the back, so that's always a consideration if you need your design seen on the back, but it's pretty easy most of the time to cover up the back or double it up with another layer of cardstock. So this one, I just want to center it. Take a quick look. All right, that looks good. And then we'll bring in our congrats. This card looks complicated, but actually I would kind of consider this like a card that a beginner could do fairly easily. It doesn't, you know, because you're just using stamp sets and blocks, and the stamps are on blocks, you aren't even using a punch or any dies. These were all fairly easy pieces to create. Like this could definitely be done with someone that didn't have a ton of supplies to start off with. Okay, so now we're gonna take, we have a little bow. I already tied this little bow, and I used This is Essentials Baker's Twine, and it comes in 5 different colors: black, a vanilla, a gray, a white, and crumb cake. And I'm using the crumb cake out of here. I love neutral baker's twine because it can go on almost any project. It's harder to use something that's colored because colored ribbon does tend to draw attention away. So the way I'm going to glue this is I'm just going to put like a dot of glue. I prefer to use glue for twine. I think it holds better than mini glue dots. And I'm just going to stick my knot down onto that glue blob. And I'll just hold it there for a few seconds, and then it should start sticking. Oh, so cute. So this month's gift, if you use my host code, I'll pop that up. Let me see if I can pop that up right here real quick. So this is this month's host code, and I decided to do the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels as a gift. This actually is, I think it is my favorite embellishment because it goes with any project. It's neutral, but it adds sparkle. So it's kind of my go-to embellishment. So I know if I like it, everyone else will like it too. So if you use this host code, we have about a week left in July, you will get this mailed to you. You need to spend at least $50. I'll mail it to you in August. And I'm still working on my June thank you cards. They're almost done. I wanted to have them out on Monday. That did not happen, but I will get it to everyone. I'm sorry that it's so slow. I am getting better on a lot of things. Let me just, I need to, the doorbell just rang. Let me just. Hey, I'm still in the middle of my life. Can I come out in about 5 minutes? Okay, can I, 5 minutes, is that okay? Okay, thanks. Sorry, I need to go out in just a second, but let me finish off this card real quick. All right, that is all there is to it. And look at the difference between the two cards. I used up those extra pieces, and so that turned out pretty cool, huh? So you can use up those extra pieces and make a few extra cards with that. All right, I am going to have to dash and run this morning, but I want to say a quick hello to Marty and Mary, who joined us as well. And I'm sorry today is such a busy day, but I hope that was a quick card that you could make. I love this layout, especially with the Glorious Gingham paper. I think like the angles on this paper make for a great card if you want to do that swatch across the front like that. I hope you all have a great day. I will be back on Friday with a new video for you. I go live on YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you have a great week until then. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.